everyone. I just want to check in, make sure you guys can all hear me, can all see my screen. I just sent a message in the chat. If anybody can respond and just let me know to make sure you guys can hear and see me, that would be awesome. And we will get started in about 1 minute. Oh, thank you guys. Fabulous. I'm so excited. Okay, so we will give it maybe half a minute more and then we're just going to jump right into it. Awesome. Okay, let's get started. We are recording this, so if you have, colleagues or if you want to refer back to this at a later time, we will send this out. It will automatically be sent out to you as soon as the recording is ready. So not to worry if you've got some colleagues that were unable to make it. But thank you so much for all of you for joining today. I'm so, as always, super excited. It's like Christmas comes so many times a year for me. This product release has been incredible. We are absolutely focused on the project management side. We do have some very exciting new reports for our accountants, but your PMs are going to eat this product release up. It is very, very project management focused. We are definitely keeping to our word about playing that catch-up game and making sure that our PMs are feeling the love and seeing, the enhancements and all the good things that are coming to Premier for them. So I should also tell you that this release is going to happen this weekend. So if you're playing around in Premier and you're looking for some of the stuff I'm showing you, you likely won't see it. But Sunday, when you log in, if you log in on a Sunday, you will see it. And most of you have seen the little dialogue pop-up that's come into Premier, letting you know that we'll be down for a couple hours to get things pushed into the live product. So today we're going to go through this agenda is the same as always. So we're going to go through some of the life-changing features. That's the most exciting stuff. And then we're going to go through some productivity and reporting features. We'll highlight some of the defects that you've submitted that we worked really hard to resolve. And then we're also going to give you a sneak peek into the next release, which is already underway in terms of planning and scoping. And hopefully most of you understand and know the way that our procedures work. So, we love getting requests and ideas from you all. We take those ideas, we take it to the product management team. We make cases for which ones we think should move forward. And then it goes through a really important cycle of vetting out the features, making sure we're thinking about it from all aspects in terms of, how is it going to affect this screen? How is it going to affect billing? How is it going to impact AP? So we make sure that we do all of that, and then we develop it, and then it goes through QA with just quality assurance, and we test it as much as possible to make sure that when we release it out to you, you're not going to run into any issues, right? So it's a lengthy process. It's not as long as most of the softwares you'll see out there. So a lot of softwares, they'll do a release maybe once a year. We try and do a release every 6 to 8 weeks. So it's a intense process, but it's what we do, and we love bringing features to you like you're going to see today. So let's start with our life-changing features. The first one is probably life-changing for us and our team because we've got the forgot password enabled now. So if you or your team member has forgotten their password, you do not have to email us. You absolutely can email us. We love hearing from you, but you now have the tools to do this on your own. You can hit the forget password, enter in your credentials, and we will email you a link to allow you to reset your password. Yay! So I know a lot of our team members were really happy about this because we want to empower you to be able to do these kinds of things on your own. So this was a really exciting one for us. I will tell you that it's important for you to go into Premier when you get the chance, maybe first thing Monday morning, go to your user preferences. We've already made sure that your email is valid, right? We did that in the last release to help with some of the security measures, but you'll notice that there's a new field here called mobile number. And if you put in your mobile number, no, that's not my real mobile number, so you can't call me here. If you put in your mobile number, then we'll also be able to, with a two-factor authentication, we'll be able to send you an SMS number that will help you to reset your password as well. Okay, so again, that's in the user preferences. You can also update the phone numbers for your colleagues if you have access to the user screen. That will also be on there. Okay, so we have completely overhauled our submittals, and this process, I'm going to take you through it from start to end just to kind of show you how incredible this is. So the idea here is we're letting you collaborate with multiple contacts. We're letting you send out submittal requests, review submittals, approve them, mark them up, have conversations via documents and notes with different parties that are involved within that construction process, whether that's internally, externally, third party, whatever you need. You have the ability to send submittals, and you don't have to send a submittal through one particular workflow per job. You can have multiple workflows per job, because the workflow will be dependent on the actual submittal. Okay, so maybe for the first submittal, you need to send this to your countertop subcontractor, and maybe the second one needs to go to your flooring, and those two workflows are going to be vastly different. So we're not restricting you in any way with respect to what that workflow should be. You'll be able to choose that at the submittal level. We have provided the capability to annotate those documents. So we've given you approval boxes, notifications. We've given you the ability to mark things up, to measure things, to put in notes. The annotations are really cool and very modern. We also recognized that sometimes you'll get a submittal and you don't know the answer, and you're going to need to forward that to somebody else, maybe to the engineer. So we've also included, as a part of this whole submittal process, the capability to forward the submittal for review to somebody else. Okay, so now we're actually going off book in terms of what the workflow is that we set up, to make sure that you can ask and obtain the information that you need on the fly. The other cool thing we did was we could set default markup colors. So if you know that you have an architect and she really likes pink, you can set her default markup color to pink. You also have the capability to change the markup colors right within the submittal portal, but you can set a default markup color, which was pretty cool. And I already mentioned the sixth one, sorry, I jumped ahead, which is to create multiple workflows based on the submittal. So let's jump into Premier and let me show you how this works, because it's really, really cool. So imagine you are, let's say, the general contractor. You need to request your subcontractor to submit their let's say, countertop specs. So here I've started the submittal. This is as per the norm, right? So you're going to click add, it creates a new one. You fill in as much information as you have or you want, and then you go to more actions and you simply just send the submittal request. Now I've already created the workflow, and so the system's automatically going to pick up the default workflow. But like I said, if I needed to override the workflow to a different one than what is the default for the job, I can do that as well. Okay, so I'm going to go into more actions and I'm going to send the submittal request. Now, it's important to remember that just like the rest of our portals, there is no requirement for password or a user license to the software in order to get access to using this for your third parties, right? So when you send this to your subcontractor, that sub does not require a user license or a username password to get to the documents. Okay, so this is me sending the submittal request as the GC to the subcontractor. So we're going to hit OK. And this is going to trigger an email. Request has been successfully sent. So I'm just going to go over to my email. And this is going to trigger an email to the subcontractor requesting the subcontractor. Let me bring this over so you can see what it looks like. Requesting the subcontractor to submit their documents as the submitter. Okay, so now this is the subcontractor going view submittal. Okay, so this is what the subcontractor now sees. My name is Dwight Schrute, apparently. So I'm getting access here. I'm all set. So what I can see here is this is the job information for the submittal. This is everything that's been created by the GC. So now I'm going to go ahead and upload my submittal. Okay, so let's choose my kitchen. Okay. So now I can go ahead and send this to the person in my workflow. So generally, if you're sending this to the subcontractor, they're going to attach all their documents. And when they hit submit, you're going to send it for internal review, which is to the project manager at the back at the GC. So by doing this, I basically triggered another email, which I will bring over. Now this one is the subcontractor sent the documents to the project manager at the GC. So now this is me as the project manager opening up the submittal. Okay, so now I'm the project manager. I've received the documentation from my sub. So I'm gaining access to this portal. And now I can see, okay, so, the construction company sent it to the submittal. Let's take a look at what the subcontractor sent to me. So you can't, sorry, my little task is covering this, but this is review documents. And now as a project manager, I know that I probably need to create a cover letter before I send this off to my architect for review. So this is what the submittal review portal looks like. So you can see here we've got the capability to zoom in to the documents. Here, this is a really cool thing. I can actually go in and insert my cover page. So I can go ahead and go cover page. Now I don't have to go outside of any kind of software or program to be able to insert a cover page with the actual documents that the subcontractor submitted. It automatically inserts it. So you can see this here. Let me move this over a little bit. Click this to remove that pane so you can see the whole thing. And I can scroll down. This is my cover page. That this form is automatically, sorry, I'm changing this view. This form is automatically brought in from Premier, which means this is 100% customizable through our forms module. So if you don't want it to look like this and you want it to change it, and maybe you want to add a disclaimer or whatever the case is to your cover page, completely customizable, right? We're just bringing it in from Premier, which is pretty cool. I can go ahead, sorry, my mouse keeps playing with this zoom. So I can go ahead and put in my approval stamp, right? So I can say this is approved, and I can have that populate for me right here. Maybe I want to increase the size so you can see it. You'll notice it automatically puts my name and the date and my company. I can scroll down to the actual drawing. Maybe I want to highlight and note, this is where the countertop should be. Maybe I want to let the architect know that we want a waterfall here. Maybe I want to enter in some comments. And the cool thing here is I can put in these comments, quartz with waterfall. And now when the architect sees it, she's going to see that, I've marked up all of these things in blue. And when she decides to mark up this, it will be in her default markup color. But of course, if I wanted to, really highlight something and I wanted to change the color, I could do that as well here, right? So I can, make this cloud, which I practiced so many times. Bam. Okay, so now we have a cloud in here. So when I'm done marking this up, all I have to do is hit next. And here, if I'm completely happy with, the way that the drawings are, I can hit approve. I can hit approve as noted so that the next person knows I did make some notes. So, please pay attention to that. If it's just been reviewed and I've not made any changes, I can use this as my response. Same with review as noted, but also I can revise and resubmit, or I can reject. And what's important to know is you know, if I revise and resubmit, it's going to go back to the last person that sent it to me. So the subcontractor is going to, you know, get notification that I revised and resubmit. Okay, and then here's where I was talking about forward. So I can, if I decided, you know what, I don't know, and I want the engineer to take a look at it before the architect or whatever the case is, I can actually go ahead and forward this, and my list of contacts are here. So I can, you know, tell Paper Mill that I would like them to take a look at this. Okay, and then I would send. So I'm just going to hit back here so I can actually just say approved as noted. And I'm going to say, looks great, and send. So now the architect, or who is the person next on my workflow, will obtain this document with the markups and all my comments, and they'll have the ability to do the exact same process. And once it's done, it goes back to the submitter, so the subcontractor that gave us the documents, and they have the capability to select which is the final document to be distributed to my distribution group. Okay, so pretty seamless, not pretty, very seamless, and very pretty to look at. Also extremely user-friendly, right? So even you know, people who are unfamiliar with using Premier will have zero problem obtaining access to this submittal portal and completing their markups and all of that fun stuff. So hopefully that was insightful to you. We are planning to roll this out 20 clients at a time. So if you want to be one of those first 20 clients to get first access, feel free to email myself or Caroline, and we'll make sure to put you on the top of that list to get you full access. So we are slowly planning to roll this out to everybody. We're just going to do it chunks at a time, 20, 20, 20. And so, you know, very soon you will have full access. The only caveat to this is you'll probably need a little bit of training on creating the workflow. And we want to make sure that, you know, we're allotting us enough time to give you that training. And that's why we're chunking it out. So by all means, if you want to be first on the list, we will definitely do that for you, and we will help you to create that workflow, and you'll be on your way. So that was the first very exciting, life-changing feature. So let's go back and take a look at the next one here. Okay, so for a lot of you that have been signing up for the timesheet, you've heard me say that the home section on that mobile app is looked very lonely with just timesheet, but now we're starting to add to it. So now when you'll open up your mobile app, for those who currently have it, starting next week, you will see that there is an addition here called Daily Log. This one is really cool, guys. So here, this is what the Daily Log looks like. For those of you that used our old app, you'll see enormous differences between the old app and this app. You'll have the capability to create work logs, right? So you can come in here to describe what's happened during the day. You know, maybe I need to choose my vendor, masonry. We had, you know, 4 employees on site today. They worked maybe 5 hours each. Today was a good day. Okay, save. And you can see as I save these logs to the daily log, we'll see when I go back to this homepage here, you'll see this updated. So you know that there's a work log in here. Okay, you can see I've already created a note. This is the coolest feature, guys. So on the notes, you have the capability to add voice memos. So for those of you who are on site and you're like, I don't want to type, but I have a whole paragraph of information to share, you can simply click on this microphone and it's going to start to record. So this is me recording a note for my daily logs. Okay, let's stop that. So it's nice and short. And these voice memos, voice notes, translate back into Premier as voice files. And when you run a daily log report, we include these voice memos on that report. It is unbelievable. It's the coolest thing ever. And so you also can obviously take pictures. You can attach files. So let me go save this so we can save that voice memo. And you'll notice, oh shoot, there was something else I wanted to show you. Got to go back in here. This is our test environment, so it's a little bit laggy on my computer, so apologies for that. But you'll notice on the note type, when I jump back in here, let me just go back here, we've got different note types, right? So this is how you're going to categorize the different things that are happening on your job. So if you need to give an update with respect to materials received, you can put in change your note type or create a new note for materials received. You know, these ones were damaged today as an example. I'm going to move this back to general for now. But you can see there's all types of note types that you can select depending on what it is that you want to update for that day. So you're not limited to just one. So I'm going to add another one, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. And I'm going to say, okay, materials received, you know, 5 items were damaged, right? So you can report on that, save, done. Now I can go in and do something else for equipment or materials used or whatever the case is. So now when I go back, you can see I have 2 notes here for review. I can also add photos. So separate from notes, I can just, you know, go in here and add or take photos. I can log my visitors. You can see here, I can put in my incidents. You can see the weather automatically is picked up right here. So I can, if there was a weather delay, I can change this to yes. Wouldn't really make sense because it's nice and sunny over here. So this is real. This is like outside today. I don't know the Fahrenheit for you US guys, but over here in Canada, it's 12 degrees outside. So it's real up-to-date weather, which is really awesome. So this is the daily job logs, brand new on your mobile app. So this will automatically get rolled out when you open up your app on Monday. You're going to see this here. Okay, so hopefully you're just as excited as I am about this one. And just so you understand, know for the future, you're going to continue seeing us add items here, right? You're going to see your RFIs come in here. You're going to see, you know, a whole bunch of mobile initiatives that we're working on coming through to this home screen. So this will start to fill up with options for you. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to some productivity and reporting features. We have, I kid you not, so many new reports. Like it is insane how many new reports we have, which is really awesome. And we're listening to you when you're saying that you know you need these reports. We're listening and we're making sure that we're building them properly and well for you to use. I'm getting a question in the chat. Will these logs be printed as well? That's coming. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like because it's too beautiful to not highlight. So the short answer to your question, can these daily logs be printed, is yes, and I will show you what they look like shortly. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, sorry, I don't know. Hopefully you can see. For me, this Zoom panel is covering things. Let me just move that over. Perfect. Okay, so one document, open documents with one click. So this one, I honestly debated whether to put this in life-changing features because I thought this is life-changing for me, but I didn't know if it would be for you too. So I kept it out. But whenever you go in Premiere to the Documents tab before, or even as of today, you would have to select the document you wish to open and hit the Open button. We've changed that now. Now you can simply click on the document that you want to open and it will open. So I think that's pretty huge. I think that's going to save a lot of time, and it's a little bit more intuitive to just click on that document name and have it open. We also, this is another customer request, updating the naming convention. So I believe this is for subcontracts, change orders, sub-change orders, where now the document name is not just, I think before it was like just 001, the number of the subcontract, but we wouldn't know which job it referred to. We wouldn't know which, I think we just gave the sub number now that I'm thinking about it. So now we're giving you job, the job number, job name, job name, job number, and then the subcontract number or the change order number. And we prefix the sub number with the word sub. So if it was a change order, you're going to prefix it with CO so that you know that this document is a subcontract or this document is a change order. Okay, so little things that make big differences. Okay, here's one for my accountants. Ready? GL job automatic reconciliation. Who does not love the words automatic reconciliation. Okay, so this one was huge. We were getting a lot of requests for help in understanding the difference between your GL and your job postings. And this was a very time-consuming process to go through each of your cost types and the GL and find out, what is causing the discrepancy? What is causing my GL for account, let's say 61,000, not match my cost type for subcontract, which is linked to that GL. So we created this really awesome screen where you can go in at any point in time and you can say, show me essentially all of my cost types, the related GL accounts, and what the variance is. So what you can see here in this top line, my subcontract GL is showing 18,000. My job cost type is showing 17. I therefore have this variance of 1200. I can click on this variance and it brings up this second report that we created, which is the variance transactions. So now I know exactly where I should have selected this 1400. I know exactly where the discrepancy is coming from. It stems from these two AP invoices. I can click on the AP invoice and I can see what is happening and what is the reason for the discrepancy between these two. So for these two invoices, they were booked directly to the GL, so it's not going to hit the cost type. In addition to not only including and adding this automatic reconciliation to the program, we also put in a stopgap to say, look, if you turn on control accounts for cost type, we're not even going to let you post directly to the GL for that cost type. So we're not only showing you how to fix what may have transpired, but we're giving you the option to stop it from occurring, right? So once you go through and you do this reconciliation and everything is variance equals 0, we don't want you to run into this again. So we're going to suggest for you to go to your chart of accounts, find your cost type GL accounts and mark them as control accounts. And that's going to stop you from and stop your team from being able to book AP invoices or journal entries directly to the cost type. So previously, I know a lot of you knew that if you selected control account, we'd stop you from doing a journal entry, but you could still use that account in AP. We've stopped that too. So you cannot use that in AP. You cannot use that as a journal if it is a control account. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys were waiting for something like this. So very excited to have brought this to you and give you the tools to make this reconciliation happen. Okay, so for my land developers out there, we heard you. We know you have so many companies and there's only, so many company names you can do with two codes, 2 character codes. So we've now increased it to 6. So you should be able to write more meaningful company codes for you. And that will be just as easy as going into your company screen, updating your company code for what you would like it to be. Okay. Cost plus billing application. So a lot of you that are using our cost plus application know that we have the ability to add transactions on the staff time tab. And sometimes you need to add a billing line. Maybe there's no cost associated to it, but you want to add a cost line so that a billing line so that you can, bill for something that you may not have incurred a cost for. So some examples are, let's say you have shared insurance policies across all of your jobs, but you want to award a piece of that to the job that you're billing for. So you just need to add a line for $200 to cover your insurance cost. Before you would have to go and try and force that into the staff time tab. Now you can go into other transactions. You can add an entry here. Please note, if you do add an entry here, we will not automatically be entering in a cost on the job side. It is just a billing line. Okay, so it's only going to affect your billing. The other thing that we heard you and we fixed for you, not fixed, but we enhanced for you, which is the ability to edit or alter the holdback amount. So in our last release, we gave you the capability to edit the percentage, but we overwhelmingly heard from a lot of you that no, we need to adjust the amount because sometimes you need to just say, you know what, I need to release $10.50 and the equivalent for the percentage is too difficult to enter or the rounding is not working. We just need to alter the amount. So now this up holdback, total holdback released, and percentage are all editable, and you have full control over what you would like to do on that tab or screen. The other thing we did for Cost Plus billing application is to alter the way that the outstanding commitment is displayed. So previously we were including unposted labor time to the outstanding commitment column, but we were also including that in our estimate at completion. So we said, okay, well, let's not double dip here. So let's keep outstanding commitment directly for subcontracts and POs and just leave the labor component in the estimate at completion. So that's what we've done now. So for those of you who were avoiding using the outstanding commitment column because we were including labor, you can bring that back into your billing breakdown because now the outstanding commitment only reflects subcontract and PO. Okay. Okay, guys. So this is, a lot of you are messaging me in the chat about if we could print the daily logs. So I'm going to jump into Premier and I'm going to show you this gorgeous layout, this automatic weather sections and all of this really cool stuff, including the voice memos, and show you what it looks like. So let's go into Premier here. So first of all, we're offering you a couple different templates. So there's a customer template, there's an internal template, and there's a mobile template. Okay, so it's just changing the way that we're showing you the information. You can put in your date range. So if you wanted to be able to do a full month, you can. If you only wanted to show information for one particular day, you can do that as well. You can also filter by who created those daily job logs. Daily logs. We changed the name, so we're getting used to it. You can also filter out by project manager. So let's say I just wanted to see, Dwight's daily logs. You could do that as well. Of course, you can select your jobs. You can filter for logs where there was a weather delay or an incident. So if you don't want to see all of them, you just want to see the ones that impacted your job due to weather or safety or something, you can use those filters as well. So this is what the report looks like, okay? So you've got your header, standard. Here's your cool weather, right? So let me just reload this so I can show you. I think that the one you're looking at yesterday was, this one was yesterday's, but there was no delay. But let's scroll down, and this one is for today. Okay, so remember we did a voice memo together. So this is updated real time. Anytime you bring this up, you reload and it's updated real time. So you've got guys on the field and you want to know what's going on, you just run this report, right? There's no waiting for any syncing or anything like that. So here's my work log, the company, cost code, here are how many man hours we had on the job. Here are my notes. Today was a good day. Like I said, I can't play this for you on the webinar because you won't hear it. It's going to be in my headset, but I can absolutely just hit play and listen to what that voice memo is. Here's my materials received. 5 of them are damaged, no incidents, and I had a visitor on site. Okay, and you'll notice at the top here, we can print, we can send this to Excel, and we can email this out. Okay. Super exciting. Like I love how this report looks. It's just so beautiful. All right, keep going, keep going. So much to get through. So another new report for the accountants out there. I know some of you were disappointed when we got rid of the 120 days from our aging. We have brought that back, but not in the same aging report. We kept that one clean and simple, and we've given you another aging report that's a little bit more clearer when we're dealing with so many different groupings. So you can see from this example, we have now grouped them by rows as opposed to columns. So that's very easy to see the invoices that are sitting in each of the groupings, okay? You can also select to say which groupings you would like to see. And let me just show you what those parameters look like because it's really very nice how we did it. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into the age payable reports and you're going to see a new report here called detail by aging. And you can see that you can select which buckets you'd like to see, right? So if you want to go from 61 to 90 and you just want to see over 90 and you don't really care about the 91 to 120, I don't know why, but maybe you do, you can select which buckets you want to see. You can also filter by pay status, right? So if you just want to see what's sitting as okay to pay, what's sitting as on hold. So really, really nice with all of these filters here to really make and create your report. And we've done this both on the AR side and the AP side. So you'll see it on both. We also listened with respect to keeping these columns segregated, right? Vendor, invoice date, et cetera. So if you do export to Excel, it's very easy to use the filter options, very easy to delete or hide columns. And this purchase category and due date are optional columns as well. Okay, we also added a change order by cost item report. This one's a cool one because it also includes pending, right? So if you have pending PCOs or you have pending change orders, that's gonna show up in this pending column here. And then your approved represents your approved change orders. And this report is broken down by cost item, by job, and then cost item, and then all of the change orders that are linked to the individual cost item. So you can see basically the activity with respect to change orders within each cost item. What's the impact? So with the new mobile app for time, we realized that we needed a better timesheet report that will also show, key information like your start and end time, your break. This was actually a request from one of the clients saying, when we review the time, this is the information that we need to review it to make sure that everything looks accurate. So, we had a great deal of help from a specific client in building this report. So hopefully you all find it useful and it helps you to track the start and end time for your employees. And you'll see there's a couple of options here as well in terms of there's a timesheet by employee, there's a timesheet by job, right? So this one that you're seeing here, we're looking at Jessica Day's time and we're listing, based on employee. The timesheet by job will list by job and all of the relevant time, start and end times. Okay, so this is another report that was driven by a client. It's a version of the estimate at completion report because essentially it's showing you where you're going to end up on your job and how. But it's really cool because it incorporates a lot of pending items. So what you're looking at here is we've got this report is displayed by cost item group, well, job, cost item group, and then cost item. And so you can see the detail within each cost item for essentially all of the activities. So your commitments, your actuals, your uncommitted actuals, all of that kind of populates in this chart here. So we're showing you the original budget. If you had any budget transfers, we're segregating those here so you can see them separate. Estimated changes because if you have anything pending, this original plus your budget transfers is your estimated changes. And if you've got any pending changes, so not only are we looking at just what's been approved, but if you have a change order that's sitting as pending and you're waiting for approval, we're including that on here. Plus your approved changes gives you a projected budget. So different from your current estimate, which is your original plus your approved change orders, here we're giving you a projected amount based on, think of it as all of the activity that you have going on from a change order perspective. Then we're showing you your budget utilized. So budget utilized includes what's been committed or any uncommitted actual. So AP invoice is not linked to a commitment. That is going to populate this particular budget utilized column. Then we give you the remaining budget. So we take your projected budget less your budget utilized and we give you a remaining amount. And we also show you a projected cost. So again, this is different from your actual cost because if you've got a pending AP invoice, we're including that in here in your projected cost. So the difference between these two is your savings or your overrun, right? So we're telling you for each of your cost items, if you have 0 as your savings or overrun, that means that you're on pace, right? Your estimate of completion is essentially the same as what you're expecting it to be. Now, if you have gone over budget or you have an uncommitted actual that's going to throw that line item, then you're going to see that you're overrun. So this is essentially the same as an estimate at completion, but it's important for you to know that this particular report does not reflect any forecasting changes. So ignore budget doesn't come into play here, anticipated costs don't come into play here. So as long as you're not utilizing those two functions, then this is another really nice way of displaying and understanding what's happening in each of your cost items from a where will I end up perspective. Okay. Okay, this one I know there is an abundance of you that have been asking for this. We will try to make sure we close all queries on this, but if we have missed yours, let us know and we'll close it. But essentially, the job cost transaction report is now being sorted by transaction date. Okay, so it'll be no longer jumbled around and mixed up. We are sorting by the date, right, chronologically. And we've also included quantity and unit of measure. So if you've got hours in here, it's very easy for you to see the number, the quantity and the unit of measures. And also, in case you didn't already know, this is completely drill down, has complete drill down capabilities. You can click on the reference and it will take you to the invoice inquiry where you can see all of the information related to that particular item, such as distribution, payment status, and even the documents, the link to the documents that have been uploaded with that AP invoice, sorry. Okay, so we also had some form updates this time around. So we've included for purchase order, there are some new form fields, owner name, address, etc. For subcontract, we have included, there's too many to list, so I didn't list them here, but we've included additional fields so that you can replicate the AIA 401 contracts. There were some key fields missing. Those are now in place. If you need to go back to your subcontracts to update, feel free to do so. If you would like some help, just let us know. Okay, some of the, again, highly requested or informed defects that were resolved this time around. Changing the bank account type. It's so funny to me. We get one request for something and then we get like 5 of the same. It's like you're all doing the same thing at the same time. So if you have a checking account that you would like to change to a savings account in the bank account screen, previously we would be stopping you. You'd get an error saying you can't change it. There's no real reason why you couldn't change it. So now you will be able to change that, especially for those who inadvertently made it a credit card and you need it to be a checking account. So you'll have no problem switching between the two. And then we've got PCO. So a lot of you, I know, were sending in tickets where you were trying to delete a PCO, and if you had uploaded a document and you tried to delete it, it looked like it deleted it from the front end, but really we were keeping it because there was a document. So if you're deleting a PCO, even if you've uploaded the document, we will be deleting that PCO. Reminder, if you add a PCO and you approve it, it becomes a change order and then you can't delete it. So it's only if you've created it and you just want to delete it without approving it, that's when we give you that capability. The other one is change orders not billed widget on the job dashboard. So the intent was always to have it exclude change orders where there was no revenue component. And we saw that it was coming through even if there was no revenue. So that's been fixed. If you do have a change order and there is no revenue component on it, you will not see it as an outstanding change order on the CO not billed widget on your job dashboard. Also, if you are, let's say, using Cost Plus and you're not even using Progress Bill, so it doesn't matter if it's linked to your billing or not, then if there's no progress billing report, no active progress billing report in the system for that particular job, you will not even see the CO not billed widget. Okay, so that's also been adjusted. Okay, so now we get to do the sneak peek. Hopefully that was really exciting and fun and informative for the release that's happening this weekend. But I always like to give you a sneak peek of what's to come, because there are so many exciting things underway for this year and in terms of our development and what we're trying to push out to you guys. So I want to highlight a couple of these. So the first one, I know it's like the most anticipated feature. I think I get asked when drawing management is coming probably 5 times a day from clients. I know you guys want it, and we are working really hard to get it out to you. So I want to show you kind of some of the specs that have been reviewed and created. Parham Musavi, our VP of operations, does an amazing job putting together these specs and giving us insight into what we can expect to see when we do release it. So let me show you kind of what he's put together for us so that we can take a look at really the cool things that, where is it? Hold on, sorry. I was trying to be cool and just keep everything in full screen, but it doesn't like me. So, okay. So this is what you would be seeing when we release drawing management. A screen would look like this with a listing of all of your drawings, right? You have the ability, obviously, to open your drawings, get drawing info. We're going to have a log report that you can look at to see, who uploaded what, when, etc. You're going to have a listing of your disciplines, right? So what are the drawings related to? Architecture, civil, electrical, etc. And then we're going to upload drawings. So when we upload the drawings, we're going to obviously drag and drop into this little section here. We're going to hit next, and the system is going to ask us to help it understand where certain items are that we need to log these drawings, right? It's using OCR. So we need to go in and say, okay, based on the 10 items that you just uploaded, we believe, the system believes that they're all related to architecture. So do we want to add anything? Can we just confirm that, this is the list of disciplines in this bunch of documents? Okay, then it's going to say, okay, can you draw a rectangle around the drawing number so that the system knows where the drawing number is? We're going to click on drawing number, and that tells the system, okay, for all of the documents, look here for the drawing number. Then we're going to say, let us know where the drawing name is. So we're going to highlight that. This is going to tell the system for all of the documents, here's where the drawing name is located. Okay, and this is going to, essentially allow the system to auto tag all of these crucial pieces of information. And then we're going to publish. And then that's going to populate all of the drawings here. Oh, what did I do? It's really cool software, but sometimes I get lost. We did this one, we did this one. Okay, perfect. Okay, so here, what you can see is we have a very similar to the submittals. You have the capability to see different notes or comments that you or somebody else has written. It's live collaboration. You can see there's all of these annotations. You can click here and you can say, I need to add an RFI. Okay, so when you click an RFI, this RFI is going to essentially link to the RFI in Premiere. Everything is going to be integrated. So you can drop that RFI pin to the area that the RFI is related to. And you can continue. Hold on, sorry, let's move through here. You can also, the system's also going to keep revisions for you. So previously it didn't have the RFI. This one didn't have the RFI. The new version of the documents has the RFI pin. So the system is also going to tell you that you're not looking at the current version. So you can compare the current version. We'll put them side by side. You can see what's different. Okay. There's also going to be a published and a private layer. So if you, just for yourself want to mark this up and say, okay, you know, this is what I need here. This is my to-do list based on this drawing. You can have a private layer where nobody else can see what you're adding, and it's just for your own records. Or you need everybody to understand that there's an RFI required here, so you can make that a public layer. Okay, so that's just kind of really cool sneak peek into the drawing management. Um, so you know that we're actively working on this. We're putting those specs together, and we're trying to get this out to you as quick as possible. The second one I want to kind of let you in on the secret of what we're putting together is something called a Smart UI. So we're working on this integration with this third party, where imagine a world where you will be able to provide your vendors with an email address. Some of you already have this feature, in the sense that you have an email address where all of your vendors are sending their AP invoices to. Now imagine using artificial intelligence or OCR or whatever you want to call it, you have a bot that is entering in those AP invoices for you. So you don't you can use your AP people to you know, do other really important tasks and review things and you know, get things moving, and they don't have to sit there and actually type and key in information regarding AP. We can just have artificial intelligence take over and do that task. This is really, really exciting, groundbreaking stuff. We're building this integration with them. This will be there will be a fee associated with it because we are using a third party, and they're charging based on the transactions, right? So I don't have numbers for you in terms of what it's going to look like, but I can tell you that it is very, very exciting, and we've seen it in action. Their accuracy rate is like 90 something percent. And so we've got some clients already using this in Australia, and it's working really well. Clients are very happy with it. So we're very excited to move to the next phase in that integration and bring this to you, you know, hopefully very soon, so that you can start to take advantage of this and really use your people for, you know, more important tasks. So very, very exciting. Again, this is using artificial intelligence and using a bot to enter AP invoices for you. So okay, so that's everything that I wanted to show you. I stayed within the hour. It was really hard. Sorry if I talked fast, spoke fast. Oh my gosh, I can't even speak anymore. I do see a lot of questions in the chat. So give me a second. Let me review these and see if there's any that I've not yet answered, so I can make sure that I'm getting all of your questions. So well, there's a lot in here. Okay. Will you be able to upload photos directly to the daily jogs when using the mobile app? Yes. So you can either take a picture with your app of the construction site, or you can access your photos on your phone and upload those photos. Okay, and yes, those photos will be included on that daily log report. So I don't know if you noticed when I was pulling up this report, let me just bring it here. Well, this is one. So this this picture I uploaded from like my computer, and this picture I uploaded from my phone. Okay, so either way, you can take a active picture, or you can pull from your files. Will the document open in the new window or on the same screen? So let me show you. Let me show you an example. Let's go back to submittals here. So this is me opening up a document. I just clicked on the name, and it opened down here. Download the file basically. So this depends on your settings. So you'll notice it opened on the same screen for me. Depends on your Chrome and your computer settings, I think, as to how that file opens. There is a way that you can make it so it automatically will open. You don't have to click on it, but that's a computer/Chrome settings. Hopefully we can help you sort that out. Does adding that line incorporate that into the reports? Kind of hoping I saw this before when I was talking about it, because I'm not really sure what line you're referring to and which report. Does adding that line incorporate that into the reports? Maybe you can give me a little bit more information on the question, and then I'll revisit that. Oh, adding a line under other transactions. Yes, if you add, thank you for clarifying. If you add a line in the cost plus billing and you run the transactions this period report, the billing report, it will add that line, but it will not add to your job cost reports, right? Because it's just a billing line. Hopefully that answers your question. Can you set up automated emailing of daily reports to internal and external parties? That is a great question. We don't have that just yet, but we're hoping to have the email on the roadmap soon. So I will get back to you on that when we have some developments in terms of sending out emails for reports. On the aging report, can you transpose the rows with columns and vice versa? So aging buckets by columns. Okay, so this report that I showed you, the new one detailed by aging, no, you cannot transpose those columns and rows. But if you do the regular aging detail report, then you get the traditional columns 30, 60, 90 that we've always had. So this is just a new report with a new layout. So we cannot transpose the existing report, but you can toggle between two different reports. Good question. Can the cost distribution that the worker enters on the timesheet be reviewed, edited, and approved by a PM before it's entered as a cost? Yes. So you want to take advantage of the approved timesheets. That's already existing in the system. We just need to set up that workflow so that it can do that. Is there a way for us to revise these reports to only show columns that are relevant to us? I would rather not see quantity and unit of measure. So currently, no, but this is something that clients have brought up, that you want to be able to add and remove columns. So we're talking internally about how we can make that happen. So currently, no, but it doesn't mean down the road that we won't. Can you set up automated emailing? Okay, we already did that one. Did that one. Will the drawings be viewable on mobile phones? That is the plan, right? Because we understand that, you know, so much of what we do is mobile. So we're hoping that we'll be able to release that with mobile capability as well. Will you be able to use custom tags, for example, unit type? I'm assuming you're talking about the drawing management in terms of the custom tags. And yes, so part of our plan is custom annotations. So I can't remember if we've already done it or if it's coming, but that is part of the plan. So I will get back to you. How do you get to the drawing management tab? Yes, you are correct. It is not yet released. That is for the next release, not this Saturday, but you know, 6 to 8 weeks. So we're very excited for it. Somebody asked if this webinar is being recorded. Yes, it is 100%, and we will send it out. One other item regarding daily logs, is the weather available in real time only, or is it stored in the system? So that is, no, the weather is real time. It's really, really awesome. So one, depending on your system preferences, if you're in the States, you're gonna see weather in Fahrenheit. If you're in Canada, you're gonna see it in Celsius. But it is talking to, I think it's AccuWeather or some other weather service, I can't remember which one. So it is real time, right? So if it's raining outside, you're going to see that it's raining on your daily job log. It's really, really awesome. I use 2 monitors. Is there something in the works where you can have multiple windows open without using multiple licenses? Currently, no, because that's kind of it's a double-edged sword, right? So either we do concurrent licenses or we do named licenses and allow you to have multiple windows open. So this is an ongoing debate. When I tell clients that if we want multiple windows, then we're going to have to do named licenses, then they turn around and say, no, we don't want that. So what I can suggest is maybe purchase an extra floating license so that, if you do need to have an extra one to open up a second tab, you can do that without making everybody have a name license. So just an option for you, for those looking for that capability. Is there an option coming that will allow notifications when items in our approval inbox? So remember earlier when I mentioned about the whole email notification, we're working on something. I don't have a definitive answer as to what it's going to look like or when it's going to be released, but we are getting inundated with questions about email notifications. And we're trying to make sure that we build it in a way that we don't drive everybody crazy, but that we can still inform you. So we're looking at maybe, once a week or once a day kind of notification. We've not yet decided what the best is, but we will be actively asking all of you in terms of what your preference is, so that we try to make as many of you as happy as possible with respect to that. Are there any reports in the works for check register or simple accounting dashboard that show bank accounts? Yes, I'm so glad you asked that question. So the team and I worked really hard to pull together a proposed accounting dashboard that we will hopefully be building in the near future. I don't want to promise any dates or anything. It still has to be vetted, but we did pull together important metrics that we think we need to include on an accounting dashboard. It is 100% in the roadmap. It is something that we really need. We also are hoping to build a company dashboard, for those of you wondering, so that you can view things from a holistic standpoint, not just a per job. So the job dashboard is definitely one of many that we have in the plan. So I'm very glad you asked that question. Yes, we're very excited about it, and it's something that is definitely in the plan. Okay, and the last question I'll take for today is what is required to have access to mobile app? Please email me. We're still going through that wait list and getting people set up for the mobile app. There is a fair bit of implementation to do to make sure that it's running correctly. So if you would like access to the mobile app, if you have, let me reiterate this. So if you have mobile license, if you have a mobile license and you are currently using the old mobile app, please email me so that I can send you access to the new mobile app, especially for the daily logs. If you would like to implement the time entry component of that, then we are going through our wait list for that. Okay, so if you are just interested in the daily logs, just send us an email and we will make sure that you have the necessary information to log in and get your people up and running on that. We'll also include the link. So the app is now by link. It's not a downloadable app from Apple or Play Store. So we will include that link for the daily logs on the release notes that will likely go out tomorrow. Okay, so you'll have instructions on how to get to that. This is a great question. Thank you so much for asking that. So thank you very much for joining. Thank you for the participation. It's so much fun that I get to interact with you guys and answer your questions. I see some of you have already jumped the gun and sent me requests for submittals. This is so exciting. So thank you for joining, and look out for the recording. Share this with your friends, and we will talk very soon in the next release. Take care and have a great week.